Welcome to TDF training session number 2, creating records. Most things that exist in TDF at this point are created by TDF users like yourselves. So let's create. We're going to start with the general principle behind creating a new record. Find the proper account to build the record off of. You won't always create a new record directly from an account, but if not directly, certainly indirectly. So I open accounts. I make sure the view selected has my desired account in it. I want to build an activity record. I'm just using activities as a beginning example. I could be creating any type of record. An activity is usually documentation of communication with our accounts or possibly vendors or other L&R employees. Any department might someday use this in some fashion to document communication and keep a thread going on issues. An example of an activity, CSS gets a phone call from a store. The store has an issue, unhappy with service. CSS wants to document that call and the resulting resolution of the problem in TDF. Let's say it's Deerberg store number 4. We want to create the activity off of the account that this pertains to. So we filter for Deerberg store number 4. Now we can open the store's record and then create the activity, or we can just right-click and start creating without opening the account by using the action option. In this instance, I'll open the account first. Then I find the action icon up at the top, click, and then click on New Activity. Now, I won't spend a lot of time on the actual forms. However, a department uses a type of record will determine how these record forms are filled out. But again, you see the activity form has opened, and as we complete and save, it will link to Deerberg's number 4. The TDF user completing this activity would fill in the appropriate fields per the instruction from their manager. L&R determines the fields and tabs on any type of record form. So the form can change over time as it best serves L&R. A good example is the complaint by field. It didn't exist all that long ago, but L&R saw a reason to add it. To complete any records form, you use whatever is available to you to complete. Drop-down lists, write-in fields, check boxes, whatever. Remember to look also in the different tabs. In this example, I'll only give the activity a subject and complete the status field. Remember, it's just a test, and I'll delete this later. After completing, I would either save or save and close, knowing that I might or might not have to return to edit or add to this record, or another TDF user might need to do the same. After saving, I'm back at the account. From there, I will go back to the Info Center. I can find the activity I just created by right-clicking on the account and view activities. And here's the activity I just created. Back to the Info Center. Then I can actually go to Activities. I'll probably have to refresh, but then I will filter and I should be able to find the activity I just created, and there it is. I'll show you another example of creating, and this would be a contact. I'll go back to my accounts. I'll say I'm creating a contact for this same Deerberg store. I right-click, go to Action, go to New Contact, and I start a process of creating a contact. Now on to a trickier part of creating records. I've made a big point that we create from an account. But what if you want to create something, but it doesn't make sense to create it from or link it to an actual store or headquarter, which is what an account usually is. Strategic plans are a type of record available to us in TDF and an example of a record that might not have anything to do with a particular store or account. Well, for those purposes, we created a different kind of account grouping and then create accounts off of that. filter, PROJ, and you'll see as account groupings, we created projects executives and projects all. Then an account was created off of each of those, and it's off of those that we create strategic plans. A bit goofy, but that's the way it is. Most strategic plans are created under projects executive, with some also created under projects all. Here we'll create from projects executive. A strategic plan is just a record type, documenting and showing progress on a plan to improve something within the company, or perhaps solve some type of problem. The strategic plan form was created by TDF and L&R to allow for all the information that might be included in a strategic plan, and there are a lot of options and tabs. Again, your manager or experience or common sense will tell you what all to fill out. There's an impact filter tab. There's obstacles and strategies. There's results and benefits. There's due dates. A lot of fields to deal with in a strategic plan. Obviously, once created, and I'll just give it a name and due date since it's just an example. You save or save and close, and it's stored in the list of strategic plans, and you can always come back to it to update. The strategic plan has been available for all TDF users to see, and those involved in some way with the strategic plan to update. Now let's get to tasks, another type of record, something that would often be created from a strategic plan, but could also be created from any record type, an activity, an opportunity, whatever. A task is just what it sounds like. It is a record that indicates work an individual or team has to do. To create a task from a strategic plan, you're saying that task is important in the success and completion of that strategic plan. First, be sure the strategic plan is saved so the proper icons are visible across the top. Now you're saying, but I thought you had to create everything off an account. Well, we created the strategic plan off an account, and now we're creating the tasks off of that strategic plan. So you are creating the task from an account, just indirectly, kind of a parent, child, grandchild sort of thing. When creating a task, you most often want to create it from an opened record. So from the saved strategic plan, click on Actions and New Task. A blank task record opens. Complete again with pertinent fields to complete. Obviously, the team lead is the person who's being assigned the task. For this example, I'll only complete that. The subject's already in there from the strategic plan and the due date. Click Save. Now, if the person assigned the task was in TDF, had TDF opened, and opened the task record type, they could see that they are the team lead for this new task. But nothing automatically goes to the team lead at that very second, just because you created the task. An alert would go out most likely to that person maybe the next morning. But in this case, you probably want to notify the team lead by email. To do that, for now, be sure to use from an opened record email detail. Click here and it will start a process allowing you to send an email to that team lead. That will also log that email and any replies to that email into TDF. More on emails in the next session. I want to also point out the breadcrumbs for this task. Here's our task. Here's the strategic plan, fixing something quickly. Here's the account that the strategic plan was created from. And here's the account grouping that started the whole process. There's a breadcrumb for every opened record. The team lead will be returning to this task as he makes progress on it. The creator of the strategic plan will be returning to that to report progress on it. So at this point, a new strategic plan and a new task have been created and could be seen by opening those record types. So most important lesson in creating, find the correct record to create off of. That starts the process. Emails in the next session.